everyone. Welcome to another episode of No Title Needed, coming to you from the beautiful Feinstein's Cabaret at the Hotel Carmichael in Carmel, Indiana, USA. Scott, who are we?
I'm Scott Osborne.
My God, still. And I am Cynthia Collins, and we are your co-hosts. And today we have a wonderful guest, Norman Lasiter. Norman, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
My God, you're awesome already. And my God, BFFs already, all of us. And so thank you so much. And what is it? Now you do a few things. You're kind of a multi-talented guy. You're a singer, 2 albums out, right? Solo albums. Thank you, Jacob Butler, for looking that up. And also you have a cabaret act.
Yes.
Gray Pride.
Yes.
So let's talk. Go.
Okay.
Let's talk about those things first.
Okay.
Let's talk about Gray Pride first.
Okay.
Let's get to that.
Talk about Gray Pride, how that came about.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a comeback for me. Not that I was ever a big cabaret star or anything like that.
Okay.
But so just kind of take you back a little bit. If you lived in Indianapolis in 1986 and Union Station opened, there was an entertainment company that did 8 little shows a day. It was like a theme park show. And I was in that, and it got a lot of attention. And I was one of the featured singers. And so that sort of gave me this confidence to make the big move to New York City, which I'd always wanted to do. So I moved there in 86 to pursue theater. Didn't really pan out that way, but I lived there from 86 to 2002.
Okay.
And then I made the decision to move to Palm Springs, California. I was burned out on New York. I was having some emotional struggles, and it seemed like the best thing for me. So I moved out there in 2002, and I had started working with my music director, Christopher Marlowe, who's amazing, when I was living in New York, because I wanted to do an album. So we started working on an album. And I moved out to Palm Springs during that process, and then a couple of years later, he moved out there. So once he was there, I started doing cabaret shows. It was something that I had been introduced to. I think my first cabaret show was at Don't Tell Mama.
I was going to say.
In New York City.
Yeah.
So that was full circle because I did end up performing there. And I really fell in love with that genre. You know, I love the intimacy of it and everything that it could be, a musical memoir show, which my shows are, or a tribute show to a band or an artist or a composer, or just the intimacy of it. So we started doing a few cabaret shows in Palm Springs, and those went well. They went well. They were successful. They were well received. I did one in LA. We even flew to New York and did one back, 20 years ago. And they were always, they were nice shows, but they never really had a concept. Yeah. There was nothing that just really, it was just sort of like,
yeah,
Norman sings.
Yeah, okay.
And I would tell a few little stories, but never really revealing much about myself or talking about myself. So then, after being in Palm Springs for several years, and doing cabaret shows, I could tell that I was losing my voice. So it came on pretty quickly, but I knew something was wrong. But I thought, well, it's maybe my age. I was approaching 60 at that point. I just really never looked into it. It was kind of a hard time in my life. It was devastating, but I just kind of accepted it. But I had maybe a 3-note range and no vocal control. So I really just thought, this is it. That part of my life is over. The one thing that I've loved the most since I was a child, sitting in my bedroom, at this age, singing along to, The Sound of Music or Mary Poppins, as every little gay boy does.
Every album in the world was in your bedroom.
And once I found Barbra Streisand, oh my gosh, the whole world opened up.
That ends, yeah.
Then I was officially gay.
Enough said, right? I mean.
So the last few years in Palm Springs were pretty hard for me. I owned a business, custom art framing business. There's been
See, you can do everything.
I just there's been a lot that's happened in my
Renaissance man.
but that was never really my passion, and it was always a struggle.
Right.
So even though I had promised myself I would never move back to Indiana, it really seemed like the best thing to do at the time. And my mother, well, now she's 91. So 9 years ago, whatever that is, I don't do math in my head, but I came back to care for her.
Okay.
So she lives with me, and so I'm her caregiver. So after I'd been back for maybe a year or so, and kind of, I had some old high school band friends. Shout out to the Greenwood Marching Woodmen. And just kind of started to find my community. I worked for Music for All in the beginning, and just started to become comfortable, and life was easier and just feeling more at peace.
Super.
So one day I thought, I really had stopped trying to sing because it was just so devastating, But I thought, okay, let's just try. So I put on my favorite Barbra Streisand album, People. And I thought,
Of it.
so the People album. And I started singing, and it was completely back. Like, completely back.
But did you ever go to the doctor?
No,
Ever?
no.
And they were like, you have some notes, but
No.
maybe you have to have surgery.
I just,
You never did anything.
no, I just thought that this is just the way it is.
But it wasn't.
But it was,
Gone.
and it was like I had more control than I had before. I had a stronger lower range in my voice. And so after a while, I thought, I need to take advantage of this. This is what I've loved to do my entire life. This is my passion, my one and only passion, really. And so I'd heard about Indy Fringe. I knew of it because I'd been back for a few years, a couple of years at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked online, and it was maybe January, and I found it online, and you had to submit by February something. So I went to the application, and of the required fields, there were 2 of those. You had to have a title, and you had to have a concept. And I thought, well, my shows had never had titles or concept. It was always Norman Lasiter, So I thought, okay, what's fringy about me?
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'm old.
Older.
I'll get to that.
Older.
I'm old and I'm gay. So what about gray pride? Okay, now I have a title. And so then the concept was, just followed. My personal journey as an older out and proud gay man.
Yeah. Okay, we have to take a break real quick, and then we're going to continue. It's so interesting. Norman Lasiter, we're taking a break, and here is a word from our sponsor, Randy Sorrell. Hey everyone, we're lucky enough to have artist Randy Sorrell as our sponsor. And today, he's going to show you a few of his beautiful pieces.
Check this out.
Say hello to Songbook Standards. This is an original acrylic, part of my music series that I completed in 2024. Sort of celebrating jazz and blues and cool clubs all across the nation, or the world. And if you dig music, man, you are going to love this one. Lavender Fields is part of my landscape series, and if you could see this in person, you would recognize how thick and juicy and packed full of color this painting is, and it really captures the lavender fields that you see in France and, sometimes here in Indiana. I think you're going to love this one.
Hey, welcome back to No Title Needed with our guest, Norman Lasiter. We are talking about your cabaret, Gray Pride. Very interesting and very clever.
Oh,
I mean,
thank you.
it couldn't be more clever. Older.
Yes.
gay man. So you're like, I finally had a theme with your cabaret. You did Fringe, and okay.
Something feels off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, hold on, because now Scott's gonna rearrange.
Oh, we rearranged. Oh, okay.
Rearrange the set. So we're gonna take a moment.
Thank you. Where
Beautiful.
you guys
Perfect.
think?
What an eye! What an eye! 2 eyes. 4 eyes.
Right now,
All
Lauren.
4 eyes. Okay, so back to Norman. Oh, do we have to move this more now? Oh, Philip's telling you to move it more.
Oh.
This will be half the episode, right?
Voila.
Yes, good.
Back to Norman.
Thanks, just like you. Perfect. Back to our guest, finally, 2 hours later, moving vases. All right, so you're back. You're back home.
Yep.
In Indy.
Yep.
You're with you have to come back and take care of your mom. You finally have a title.
Yep.
Finally. And you feel like now you're complete.
So now I start the creative process.
Yeah.
Now, as many things as I've done in my life, I've been very naive and somewhat foolish. So, you just I put myself in these situations and just go for it.
Right.
So I start the process, picking songs. What stories from my life can I tell that could be interesting or funny or heartwarming? So I put this show together about my life, as it turns out. And I was basically scared to death by the time,
right?
performance rolled around. Because it was me, opening up
No
about
highs.
exactly who I am to old friends, family, and hi, Mom, and just all these, local people. So it went well, and it was really kind of a hit.
Bill invited me to a show, and I said no, cannot go. There's a dress that I've got to sew, and wear for Norman. I'm Norman. Isn't this song just blatant self-adulation? Welcome to Great Pride, my personal journey as an older, out and proud gay man. Thanks for coming along for the fun. And speaking of fun, this song was recorded by one-hit wonder Sue Thompson and peaked at number 3 on the 1961 Billboard charts. Imagine that!
So then I'm like, I got to keep doing this. So then I wanted to do it at the cabaret downtown, which I produced myself as a benefit for the Damien Center.
Oh, yes.
So I'd lived in New York City in the 80s and 90s during the horrific AIDS crisis.
Yes.
So we could spend a few hours on that.
We could.
Horrible time. But so I thought the Damien Center, it seemed like, and I do talk about it a little bit in my Great Pride show. And then I wanted to do it here. I did it here at beautiful Feinstein's, June, Pride Month of 24. And then I thought, okay, New York City. So through wonderful cabaret Broadway star Melissa Erica, who I met here at the cabaret, she connected me with Sidney Meyer at Don't Tell Mama. And he's a sweetheart, and he's been so good to me. So he booked me for November of 24, sold out the show. It was thrilling. And then I thought, well, I want to do this more. So I contacted him again, and last July, I went for 2 weeks and did 4 more performances, which was also filmed. There's a docu-style Great Pride film. It's being edited now. So hopefully that'll be worth seeing.
Yes. Do you have any idea when that
No, I
air?
I know the editors work, the director and editors
Okay.
working on it now, but they filmed one of the performances in July.
Is the official title of it Great Pride, the doc?
Good question. Good question. And yeah, I don't think we're sure yet.
Okay.
And then because I knew I could, I mean, I've done Great Pride, I think 6 times locally
Okay.
and 5 times in New York, and I want to keep doing it. I was supposed to be in Puerto Vallarta, actually doing a show tonight, but I canceled that. There's some
Yeah.
rough things going on there. So even though I'm sure it would have been fine.
Do you ever switch it up in the cabaret? Do you ever, because you can do whatever you want quite frankly, it's your story. In cabaret, there's sometimes another thing about it. It's not so. It's your script.
It is, and I do each time I would do it here locally. I would add stuff because I needed to kind of like promote it as new and improved. So each time I would add things. Now it's pretty set, and I probably wouldn't change much.
Okay.
But I knew I had to move on from Gray Pride. So last year, I talked to Michael Schaefer and Jeffrey Brickman, who are very good friends of mine. Meeting them has opened my world to amazing people, their friend group, and just all the people they know in Indianapolis. So they're really close to me. And so I contacted Mike about producing a show at the Cabaret, a new show to benefit Epic, which is kind of the indie early collab of Sage, which is a national nonprofit that provides essential services and housing for LGBTQ plus elders. So
Hello. Yeah.
so that seemed, and so they've started that. So it's in the beginning process. And so again, I sat down last January and started to write a whole new show. And I didn't intend for it to be Gray Pride 2, but that's what essentially turned out to be, like a deeper dive into my crazy life.
Grayer prize.
So I should have called it that. But I kind of wanted to get away from the Gray Pride.
Yes.
But so I called it Still Gray and Feeling Groovy. So I did that at the Cabaret. An incredible experience. Michael Schaefer is the best salesman in town, and he sold out that show. And we did that last June at the Cabaret.
I looked at love from both sides now, from give or take, but still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all.
So I want to do that more as well. I'd love to do it here.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And you should.
I'd love to do it here.
You should. Do it as many places as you possibly can, of course, for cabaret. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You want to spread your word.
Yeah. But, for now, I'd love to do Great Pride in P-Town, Key West, or any place that would book me. But, I don't really have a big enough name where people, if I contacted, I can't think of.
Yeah, but
anything.
P-Town is so packed for the summer, and there's so much going on.
Oh, it's one of my favorite places.
You would absolutely. I think you'd absolutely.
I mean, I think it'd be, a great show for that, but just knowing who to contact and getting them to respond.
You're right. And getting in.
Yeah.
It's just the getting in. You got to get in front of them. You got to get in.
It's almost like you have to find somebody who knows them and will say, hey, we know this person who has a show.
Yeah.
And so.
So, okay. So this is all so fantastic. Congratulations on the new cabaret.
Thank you.
Are you gonna do that at Fringe at all? Are you?
I don't think so. I mean, Fringe was a wonderful experience.
That kicked you off.
It really kind of kicked me off and made me feel that I can do this again. But what it also did was it just sort of, it opened the door for this later in life thing, this kind of wonderful phenomenon in my life that I could never have imagined at my age.
Yeah, because that's what the arts does for us.
Right.
That's what music does for us.
Love it.
And the arts, and the performing arts, and the visual arts. You know what I mean? And look at that. And it's in the perfect spot.
Right where we want it.
Oh, where Philip wants it. Anyway, Norman, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
You are
My
a
pleasure.
gem of a human being. So thank you for all you do, and your cabaret, and the message, that you send out there to other people in our community, and so thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you for joining us, Scotty, for another episode of No Title Needed. Come on over to Feinstein's. Oh my God, what do they have?
Oh, they got some great mixologists over here.
Do. And fantastic entertainment. Wide variety, something happening almost every night. Come on over, get yourself a great drink, see some wonderful entertainment at a beautiful venue here at Feinstein's Hotel Carmichael. I am Cynthia Collins.
And I am Scott Osborne.
Always and forever, we are your co-hosts, Norman Lasiter, always and forever. And thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.